This article offers complete guidelines to apply without IELTS to study in Australia. The lowest score is between 5.5 to 6.5 of IELTS in the majority of Australian universities for international students. Most universities require an English language test in Australia. There is one common problem: many students are uncomfortable with English language test. They do not find ways to pass IELTS. Here we find a way for those students. They still can study in Australia without IELTS. This article has mentioned 8 universities where you can apply for admissions without English language test. Table of contents. Application process for Australian University Without IELTS. Alternatives of IELTS for admission in Australian University. Conditions to get admission in Australian University without IELTS. Here we present the list of universities where you can apply for studies without IELTS. The University of Queensland. The University of Adelaide. The Swinburne University of Technology. The Macquarie University. The University of Melbourne. The University of South Australia. The University of Southern Queensland. The University of New South Wales. Services by Consult Studies Abroad. Application process for Australian University without IELTS. Study in Australia without IELTS through Consult Studies Abroad. First, shortlist the course you want to study. Check eligibility requirements for a particular university you have shortlisted. Visit few universities before you make your mind to the final one of the universities. You should prefer the university which offers a foundation course in English or an English academic program if you are applying for an undergraduate course. You would not need to submit IELTS for admission. If you are applying for a master degree course, then choose the university which has the option of an English proficiency letter instead of an English language test. Just show in your cover letter that you have done your 16 years of education in English as the medium of instruction and you have really good fluency in the English language. There is an online application process for admission to Australian University. Fill online application form on a specific university web portal and upload all documents on the university website where you want to study without IELTS. You will be invited for Skype interview once your profile is shortlisted. You have to clear this interview to confirm your admission to a university, as you are applying without IELTS. So, the interview would be basic, as the university wants to know you can communicate and understand basic English. Once you pass the interview, you need to pay the tuition fee and receive an acceptance letter from the university. There is a chance of scholarship in university. Always check scholarship opportunities before you pay the tuition fee. Alternatives of IELTS for admission in Australian University. There are alternatives to study in Australia without IELTS. These are alternatives to study in Australia without IELTS for international students. Certificate of Proficiency in English, CPE, is acceptable in Australian universities. It is conducted by the University of Cambridge. Students in 10+1 or 10+2 can appear in this test. Test of English as a Foreign Language, TOEFL, is acceptable in Australian universities. It is conducted by Educational Testing Services, ETS. Students should pass minimum 10+2 to appear in this test. Certificate in Advanced English, CAE, is acceptable in Australian universities. It is conducted by the University of Cambridge. Students in 10+1 or 10+2 can appear in this test. Pearson Test of English, PTE, is acceptable in Australian universities. It is computer-based English language test conducted by Pearson plc Group. Student with 16 years of education can appear in this test. Conditions to get admission in Australian University without IELTS. If you have worked in an organization where the main language of communication and instruction was in English, then you can apply without IELTS for admission in some Australian universities. The work experience between 3 to 5 years would be enough to secure admission to a university. Just attach a letter from the company with your application for admission to a university. English preparatory courses are the other option to study in Australia without IELTS. You can register for an English language course at a particular university. Once you finish the course, you can pursue the desired degree or program. The duration of English preparatory courses depends upon the individual's basic English knowledge. International Baccalaureate program is diploma of 2 years duration. Majority of Australian universities accept this diploma. You do not need to submit IELTS if you have completed this diploma. There are academic English programs available at the universities. If you get admission in English language programs, you do not need to submit the IELTS. Just complete the program and start your desired degree course at the university. Here we present the list of universities where you can apply for studies without IELTS. The University of Queensland. Normally, students require appropriate English language skills for admission to the University of Queensland. You need minimum IELTS of 6.5, as level of English language varies for each program. There are options to get admission at the University of Queensland without IELTS. If you fulfill one of following conditions, you will get admission in the University of Queensland. You have completed senior secondary schooling, where the medium of instruction was English. You have successfully completed a bachelor's or master's degree, where the medium of instruction was English. You might have acceptable evidence of sufficient English language skills developed through paid or voluntary work experience. You have obtained a bachelor or master's degree from an accredited institution recognized by the University of Queensland for this purpose. The University of Adelaide. The University of Adelaide offers foundation courses for the English language. These courses are also known as language preparatory courses. The duration of the foundation course varies from 6 months to 1 year depending upon the English language skills of individuals. If you don't have an English language certificate like IELTS or TOEFL, you can still get admission to the University of Adelaide. You have to mention the course you will study after completion of the foundation course of English. Remember, if you do not pass the foundation course, you would not be eligible for further studies at the University of Adelaide. The Swinburne University of Technology. Normally, students require appropriate English language skills for admission to the Swinburne University of Technology. You need minimum IELTS of 6.5, as level of English language varies for each program. There are options to get admission at the University of Queensland without IELTS. If you fulfill one of following conditions. You had English as the language of instruction during previous education. You have completed an international baccalaureate. You have studied English in Australia or another country. You need to submit documentary evidence in the form of a letter or transcript from the university at which you have completed previous education. You can also enroll foundation course if you do not have an English proficiency certificate like IELTS or TOEFL. There are 2 types of English foundation courses at the university, which are General English and English for academic purposes. The length of English preparatory courses varies for each individual's knowledge of English. The courses have duration of 5 to 50 weeks. The Macquarie University. All applicants need to provide evidence of English language proficiency. If you don't have IELTS, you can apply for the English Preparation Program at Macquarie University English Language Centre. International students with a packaged offer can apply for a single student visa covering both their English Preparation Program and their course of study at Macquarie University. The University of Melbourne. You do not have IELTS before applying a course at the University of Melbourne? The university offers English language courses, where you can improve your communication and instruction skills. The University of Melbourne English Language Bridging Program, UMELP, is a 10-week course that provides a direct entry English language pathway from Hawthorn, Melbourne to undergraduate and specific graduate courses at the University of Melbourne. Foundation Studies at Trinity College is a preparatory program that qualifies international students for entry to the University of Melbourne undergraduate degrees. The University of South Australia. The University of South Australia awards admission letter to international applicants with non-English speaking backgrounds on passing an English language test. If students do not have a certificate of English language test, they can get admission at the university in academic English program or foundation course of English language. You need to mention your English language skills at the time of application, so university will decide the duration of the foundation course or English language program according to your English language skills. After completing the English language course, you can start your desired course of study at the University of South Australia. The University of Southern Queensland. The English language test does not require you to get admission to a course at the University of Southern Queensland if your previous education is in English. Mention in your cover letter or CV your English language skills. Otherwise, you can review the alternative English language proficiency requirements. It will help you to choose suitable condition. The University of New South Wales. There are options for an English waiver at the University of New South Wales. The English language requirements can depend upon your previous studies and job experience. Mention in your personal statement and attach supporting documents about English language proficiency. If you are applying for an undergraduate and postgraduate course, you can apply for an English waiver by submitting an inquiry here. Services by Consult Studies Abroad. As our trained counselors have the latest information on job prospects and other required details, we help students to select the right career path for studying abroad. All the students look for a course that relates to their past academic records and work experience. We fulfill their requirement by providing them with several options available. We always believe to suggest students all the options so they can make a satisfactory choice. We help you to achieve dreams by studying in best university across the globe. You can approach Consult Studies Abroad for guidance about scholarships, university admissions, and many more useful information. We would love to hear what you think about this blog, Study in Australia Without IELTS. Write us email or let us know in comment box section. Email address. Subscribe.